Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's time to break down the games for Friday, April 12th, 2024. But first, let's take a look at how we did yesterday. Not a lot of games yesterday. We ended up going 3-1. We had a 3-player hit prop that became a 2-player hit prop. We ended up winning $195 on the day, guys. That puts us down just $65 for the month. A couple days ago, we were down almost 9 units. Now we're only down a little over half a unit, which is nothing. We've won 3 days in a row. We're going to go for 4 today. The first 2 games of the day, guys, is Minnesota at Detroit and Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. First in the Minnesota-Detroit game, it's Pablo Lopez against Tariq Skubal. Both pitchers are very good. Both pitchers are Cy Young candidates. They've both been off to really good starts as well. Both teams have bullpens with an ERAs under 2. Both teams have struggled to score a little bit this year. So I'm going to take the under 7.5 runs in this one at -120. I think this will be a low-scoring game, so I'm going to take the under. And then the Pittsburgh-Philadelphia game, it's Falter against Sanchez. Sanchez has been a little bit more consistent this year. Falter had a really bad outing his first time out against Miami, giving up 6 runs. But in his second outing, he gave up no runs against Baltimore in a Pittsburgh win. Pittsburgh's bullpen is slightly better. Both teams score about the same amount of runs per game. Pittsburgh is slightly better. But yesterday, obviously, Philadelphia won 5-1. On paper, Philadelphia is the better team. I think it's best to just stay away from this game. So we're going to bet nothing in this one. The next 2 games to look at are the San Francisco Giants at the Tampa Bay Rays and the Milwaukee Brewers at the Baltimore Orioles. First in the San Francisco-Tampa Bay game, it's Keaton Winn against Jacob Waguespack. Waguespac's pitched out of the bullpen, so it looks like the Rays are going to go for a bullpen game. Both teams score 4.2 runs a game. Both teams' bullpens have not been good this year, and the Rays are doing a bullpen game. So I think it's best to just stay away from this game. So we don't like anything, so we're just going to stay away. And then the Milwaukee-Baltimore game, it's Freddie Peralta against Tyler Wells. Baltimore and Milwaukee have scored almost the same amount of runs per game. Baltimore's bullpen has been much better than Milwaukee. However, Freddie Peralta is the ace of the Brewers staff. He's been off to a really hot start. He is the better pitcher than Tyler Wells. So I think in this game, I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers first 5 at -130. I think that's where the value is in this game. The next 2 games up are the Colorado Rockies at the Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Angels at the Boston Red Sox. First, in the Colorado-Toronto game, it's Feltner against Gossman. Gossman, his last time out, only went an inning and a third against the Yankees and gave up 6 runs, 5 of which were earned. Toronto's offense has been off to a slow start. However, I think Colorado is just what the doctor ordered for this Toronto team. I think they're going to break out today against Feltner and the Rockies at home. They're -260 on the money line, so we'll probably try to find a parlay partner. We don't like to lay more than -180, but I think this is a win that Toronto can get at home. Colorado's bullpen has been terrible. Feltner's looked okay. He's given up 4 earned runs so far this year, but I think we'll take the Blue Jays money line in this one. And then the other game, it's the Angels at the Red Sox. It's Detmer against Houck. Both pitchers have pitched really well this year. Detmers has given up exactly 1 run in each of his 2 starts. He did face the Angels early in the year, giving up 1 run, and the Angels won that game. Houck, he's looked just as good. He has yet to give up an earned run this year. 0 runs in both of his outings. He faced the Angels early in the year, giving up 0 runs in a game that the Red Sox won. Both teams score about the same amount of runs per game. Both teams have about the same team batting average. The bullpens, the Red Sox bullpen has been slightly better than the Angels bullpen, but this game is super, super close. So I think it's best to just stay away. We don't like anything in this game. The next 2 games to look at are the Kansas City Royals at the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves at the Miami Marlins. First in the Kansas City-New York game, it's Waka against Severino. The Mets returned home after having a really bad homestand to start the season. They were averaging 2 runs a game the first 9 games of the season, but in the last 3-game series against the Braves, they really broke out, scoring 29 runs, including 16 yesterday. Kansas City also has been red hot. They've won 7 in a row. They may be the hottest team in baseball right now. They just got done sweeping the Astros at home. We made a lot of money betting Kansas City in that series, but this one I think we're just going to stay away. The Mets are starting to heat up. The Royals are hot. Something's got to give. I'm not sure which way it's going to break, so I think we'll just stay away from that game. And then in the Atlanta-Miami game, it's Max Fried against Trevor Rogers. Fried has not looked good this year. He's given up 11 runs in his 2 starts, 10 of which were earned, in only 5 innings pitched. The first inning has been his kryptonite. He's given up 9 runs in the first inning this year. Miami, obviously, they're really struggling. They have the worst record in baseball at 2-11. They struggle to score runs. Their bullpen has been terrible. Trevor Rogers hasn't really looked that great this year. So I am going to take the over 8.5 runs in this one at minus 120. I probably do lean Braves to win this one as well. But I think the over 8.5 is a pretty safe play. And then we'll take Josh Bell to get a hit at minus 179. He's a switch hitter. He's second in the lineup, so he gets a lot of at-bats. He's had some success against Fried in the past, so we'll take Bell to get a hit. The next two games to look at are the Cincinnati Reds against the Chicago White Sox and the Texas Rangers at the Houston Astros. First, in the Cincinnati Reds-Chicago White Sox game, it's Andrew Abbott against Chris Flexen. Both games that Andrew Abbott has pitched, we took the Reds' first 5, and we've lost both times. So we're stubborn. We're not going to give up. We're taking the Cincinnati Reds' first 5 at minus 170. We lost the first 2 times, but it wasn't Andrew Abbott's fault. I think he gave up 3 runs in one game and 2 runs in the other game, but Cincinnati could not score. I think they scored 1 run between the 2 games in the first 5 innings. I think they'll have a much easier time scoring against Flexen. He hasn't exactly looked great this year. Plus, the White Sox offense, they're missing 3 big bats in Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert Jr., and Yohan Moncada. So the White Sox offense has not been great. So we'll take the Reds' first 5 again with Abbott on the mound. And then we like Yaimer Candelario to get a hit. And then in the Houston Texas Rangers game, 2 teams coming off really bad series. Houston just got swept by Kansas City in Kansas City. Texas just lost 2 out of 3 at home to Oakland. So both teams are kind of limping along here. Dunning faced Houston earlier in the year, and Texas got the loss. France faced Texas earlier in the year, and Houston got the loss. So both pitchers have lost the opposing team so far. I do think Dunning is the better pitcher. Texas' bullpen has been better this year. Texas' offense has been better this year. So we're going to take the Rangers at plus 110. At plus money, getting the Rangers in this one, we'll take the plus. And then we like Yordan Alvarez and Jonah Heim to each get a hit. Both of them are opposite hitters of the pitcher's throwing hand. Both of them have had some success in the past against these pitchers. They're in the same division, so they have some familiarity with each other. So we'll take Alvarez and Heim to each get a hit. The next 2 games to look at are the Washington Nationals at the Oakland Athletics and the Chicago Cubs at the Seattle Mariners. First, in the Washington-Oakland game, it's Irvin against Blackburn. Blackburn has looked really good this year for Oakland. He has yet to give up a run on the season. Plus, Oakland just got off winning 2 out of 3 in Texas. But Oakland is minus 135. It's tough for me to bet Oakland at minus money. Last year, they were the worst team in baseball with only 51 wins. This year, I don't think they'll be the worst team in baseball. I think that's going to go to the White Sox and maybe even the Rockies being worse than Oakland this year. However, they're still not going to be a great team. They're going to be plus money on most nights. We've bet them in the past at plus money when there's good value there. But at minus 135, I'm just going to stay away from it. And then the Chicago-Seattle game, I would probably lean Cubs in this one, but they just kind of got out of San Diego losing 2 out of 3. They were super hot going into that San Diego series, but San Diego kind of, put the brakes on them a little bit. And then Seattle, their offense has really struggled so far this year. I think they're averaging, right around 3 runs a game, where the Cubs are averaging around 6 runs a game. Miller has, though, pitched very well, and Wicks, he's only pitched okay. The Cubs' bullpen has been good at times. However, they did blow an 8-0 lead against San Diego in the first game of that series. So I think it's best to just stay away from this one. I'm not really sure how it's going to shake out. The last 2 games of the day are the St. Louis Cardinals at the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres at the LA Dodgers. First, in the St. Louis-Arizona game, it's Matz against Pfaadt. Pfaadt has not looked like the pitcher that he was in the playoffs for Arizona. He's got off to a really rough start. He is 1-0 on the year, but he carries a 5.06 ERA after his 2 starts. Matz, on the other hand, has looked really good for St. Louis. He's got a 1.74 ERA, and he's 1-0 on the season. He's pitched good against the Dodgers earlier in the year as well. Really tough opponent, obviously, probably the best offense in baseball. So I think in this one, it's best to just stay away and bet nothing. St. Louis's bullpen has been better. Both offenses have been pretty similar this year, so we'll just stay away from that game. And then the San Diego Padre-LA Dodger game, it's King against Yamamoto. King is 2-0 with a 3.14 ERA. However, in that game in Korea, he came in out of the bullpen in the second game and gave up a bunch of runs in that outing. And then Yamamoto, he's 1-1 with a 4.09 ERA. That first game against the Padres in Korea, he got rocked and barely pitched 1 inning. However, since then, he's pitched really good. He had 1 start in Dodger Stadium against the Cardinals where he pitched really good. In his last outing, he went 5 innings and no runs against the Cubs in a Dodger win. So he's been pitching much better. I'm going to take the Dodgers money line at minus 205. I probably will parlay them with the Toronto Blue Jays from earlier at minus 260. That's probably going to be the play there. And that does it for today's games, guys. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think of the analysis. Let me know if you're tailing me or fading me. If you're tailing me, don't call it a comeback, but 3 wins in a row. We're only down a little over half a unit. I told you guys it was still early on. Baseball is a game of information. As the season wears on, we're getting more and more information. We're getting sharper and sharper. We're going for 4 wins in a row today. Please click on the like and subscribe button. It's really going to go a long way as I try to launch this channel. There's a lot of things I want to do with it, so please help me out and click that like and subscribe button. And then if you can click on the notification bell, you'll get notified when I post my videos. I try to post them, early in the morning because I'm on the West Coast. Games start as early as 10 a.m. sometimes. On a day like today, where games don't start until 3 p.m. my time, I might not post until 1 o'clock, 1:30, but I usually post them early in the morning. At least you'll get the notification of when I post it. That way you can listen to the analysis. You can be more informed before you place your bets, whether you want to tail me, fade me, or even some of the games I say stay away from. Maybe there's some information that I say that you like about the game and you are going to decide to bet it. And then last, if you follow me on social media, on X, formerly Twitter, or on Instagram at Sportsbook Whisper, no vowels in Sportsbook. It's where I post my final plays. I say it all the time. This video is all my leans. I monitor them throughout the day. I wait for lineups to get posted, maybe some injury update or injury news. Might change my mind. I might delete a play or add a play. So make sure you're following me on those social media posts to get the final plays. And then let's get that 4 days in a row, guys. Let's get to Profitville for the month and then just keep running. We're running hard. Let's keep it that way. And I will see you all tomorrow.